Welcome back to Project 613. We are going to continue on the topic of idolatry and idol worship with another 13 mitzvot, and we will see to what extent the Torah goes to distance us from heretical ideas and beliefs. The first prohibition we have is that it's forbidden to erect a monument for the purpose of gathering around it to worship, even for worshiping Hashem. This is because this was a common practice by the ancient idol worshippers. We then have a mitzvah where it's forbidden to kneel on a stone or bow down on a stone, and that is again, even if we are serving Hashem, it's because this was the practice of the ancient idolaters, where they would decorate special kneeling stones and place them before their idols. We then have a mitzvah where it's forbidden to plant a tree in the holy temple or near the altar. Again, this was a practice of the ancient idolaters where they would plant special decorative trees in their temples. It's therefore forbidden. We then have a positive mitzvah where we are commanded to destroy all the places of idol worship from the land of Israel. We are commanded to utterly eradicate any vestige of idol worship from the land of Israel, and we have to destroy it in any way possible, their idols, their altars, or their houses of worship. We then have a mitzvah where it is forbidden for us to benefit from idolatry. The verse says we shall not bring it back into our house, and that means that once something was used for idol worship, we cannot make benefit from it. For example, a tree that was used for idolatry, once it's cut down, we cannot use its wood to light a fire and cook on it. We then have another mitzvah where not only it's forbidden to benefit from idols themselves, but even from their decorations. The verse says, "Lo sachmed kesef v'zohav aleim," you shall not covet the silver or gold that is on them. It's forbidden for us to use, for example, the jewelry that was used to adorn an idol, or even its gold plating. We then have a mitzvah where it's forbidden to make a peace treaty with the 7 nations who follow the ways of the idols, and included in this is any nation who worships idols is forbidden to make a peace treaty with them. Of course, this is unless they agree to abandon their pagan ways. The next mitzvah we have is that it is forbidden to show kindness towards the idol worshippers. The verse says, do not show mercy on them. And what that means is that it's forbidden even to talk about how wonderful they are, how nice, how handsome they are, or how attractive this individual is, how beautiful this building is. If it's an idol worshipper or a place of idol worship, that would be forbidden. We then have another mitzvah where it is forbidden to allow an idol worshipper to reside in the land of Israel. The verse says, you shall not allow them to dwell in your land. Why? Because we do not want to learn from their heretical ways. It's forbidden for a Jew to even sell or rent a home to an idol worshipper in the land of Israel. The next mitzvah we have is that it's forbidden for a Jew to follow in the practices of the idol worshipping nations around them, even practices that are not associated with their pagan ways. For example, it's forbidden for a Jew to follow the customs or the traditions or even wear the clothing that is customarily worn by these nations. We then have a mitzvah which is forbidden to interpret an omen. In Hebrew, this is called a menachesh, and that means if a person would base one's actions based on supposedly a good or a bad omen. For example, the Medrash says, if a person says, oh, my stick fell out of my hand, that's a bad sign, or my bread fell out of my mouth, that would be a bad sign, and so on and so forth. This would be forbidden. This is called a menachesh. The next mitzvah we have is that it is forbidden to engage in the practice of being a kosem, in English, a soothsayer. And that basically means it's forbidden to engage in any method which the psychics would use to predict the future, where in reality it was no more than an educated guess, and for the majority of times perhaps they were right and people thought they were able to predict the future. They would engage in all sorts of activities that would help them predict the future. Engaging in anything like this, predicting the future in this way, or engaging in any of these activities is forbidden. We then have the final mitzvah we are going to learn today is that it's forbidden to predict the auspiciousness of any given time or date based on any astrological formation, or to make any prediction based on that. And included in this mitzvah is also a prohibition of using the sleight of hand. That means it would be forbidden to deceptively cause someone to believe that we have magical powers just by the sleight of hand. Of course, all of these mitzvahs again have many, many more details, but we will leave it at that, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.